Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. With me, as always, is my good friend, Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Hey, first of all, apologize to everyone. I was the one who was late. I am almost always late on Monday, but it's an exciting time for us. I mean, this team is playing a certain brand of basketball, which is very nice to watch and to discuss. So,
Yeah, it's unbelievable what they've been able to do so far. And a product of that is Mark Daigneault winning Coach of the Year, which is a well-deserved accomplishment for Mark. He
yeah,
has been, and obviously this is something that and he'll even say it. He's been stacking days. He's been planting seeds. He's been on his way to this from the beginning. They basically have been running like a similar type of offense since he started here.
mhm.
Now they didn't have the personnel there to do it. That sometimes the system made personnel look really good, like a Mike Muscala looked amazing at different
Mhm.
times, and the Thunder actually received 2 second-round picks and then got him back for free because of like this system this offensive system that he's implemented. But
Yeah.
he deserves this accolade very much so. I mean, just like the wins, obviously, I think is the thing that sticks out to voters the most. But he's been a phenomenal coach for this team. He's been a phenomenal leader of men. He has an expectation that these guys all have to hit. There's a bar that they have to clear, and not everybody was able to do it, through the years. And it wasn't just a given that you're going to get to play. You have to defend. You have to move the ball. You have to know how to move the ball. You have to know how to fit into this offense. There have been guys that have struggled, whether they're first round picks, lottery picks, guys that, Presti picks up. Um, it's been just a joy to see him coach this team and to coach them up to such a high standard.
Yeah, I love the way in which you framed his achievement, being a leader of men, being an inspiration. I don't remember the exact word you used, but I mean, Mark Daigneault has been clearly the leader of this group in terms of influencing the team with his own mantra, like the fact stacking days, the 0-0 mentality.
Mm-hmm.
These are stuff that are very nice principles, but you have to let them be interiorized by everyone of your teammates, everyone of the component of your team, the staff, like the players. And Mark was able to do that. It's not a small achievement to not just to repeat that, but you can see this team having really a 0-0 mentality. This is why they don't get into they never got into a very long losing streak in the regular season. This
Mm-hmm.
is no small feat.
Yeah.
And he's also like a great manager because, I mean, this team is playing in a sustainable, productive, efficient way.
Yep.
So he is through, I mean, being a leader and a manager together, it's not easy.
No.
Someone may be very, very good at deciding how to manage situations. Like now I know that I have to put in Isaiah Joe instead of Kenrich because this is what the game requires, because this is what I think it's. And another one is, hey, I need to do this while not losing Kenrich Williams for the next years. I need to do this while I need to increase the role of J-Dub without sacrificing Josh Giddey and or Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
So these are stuff that requires a view and that requires being able to really influence the way in which the people around you feel about your decisions. And again, at 39 years old, this is an incredible achievement for Mark Daigneault. In general, as a work stuff, like he has done an incredible work. So it's again, and it seems it is not done as of yet. So we'll see. There is at least another 4 games to go. after the win on Saturday.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. Deserves a lot of praise, and it's just kind of cool how and I don't know that Thunder fans realize how blessed they are with the way that like leadership is set up with this Thunder team. Today, it all starts with Clay Bennett. Without Clay Bennett, there's no Sam Presti. Clay Bennett allows Sam to do his thing without stepping in and making a mess of anything. And like that's kind of like where this all starts. And then Sam has been able to just really do his job the way that he needs to. Because I don't know that every single owner in the National Basketball Association would have been cool with hiring a guy like Mark. Because like he doesn't have the credentials that most NBA coaches have. Like he just flat out does not.
He's not a former player.
Not a former player. Didn't even play college ball.
Yeah.
Was not a head coach in college.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I mean, his coaching, jobs that he's had are, it's just kind of fascinating. This is not like the path that most guys take to get to the NBA. And I put this out on Twitter yesterday, but he was a student manager at UConn. He was an assistant at Holy Cross. He was actually like encouraged to go pursue this assistantship at Holy Cross, where he's an assistant from 07 to 10. He goes to graduate school at Florida in 2010, works under Billy Donovan as an assistant coach. While he's an assistant at Florida, he gets to know Sam Presti because Sam Presti just loved the Florida program.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like there were players that he was interested in there. Like everybody knows that Presti was interested in Bradley Beal, and the Thunder were interested in Bradley Beal whenever he was in the draft. But they were also
interested. Get him now.
They could have him now if they wanted him. The Suns are like, please, somebody,
can you take it,
please. But they obviously just love the program that they're putting together, and they eventually hired Billy, but they hired Mark first before they hired Billy.
Yeah,
and I've heard the story of when Mark was hired as the head coach of the Blue. I think this story has been written, but like Mark was set up to like teach at the University of Florida that the fall of 2010 or the fall of 2014. And he got hired in August, and he had like everything set up and ready to go for him to be able to teach at the University of Florida. And Sam offered him this job with the Blue. And so he and his wife packed up everything and moved to Oklahoma so that he could be the head coach of the Blue. The first time he was the head coach was when he was the head coach of the Blue. So like it's pretty cool. And Presti was not the only person to like see something in him. There are a lot of people that saw like a lot of potential in Mark, like throughout this whole process. But it's like Presti that just snagged this guy in 2014 to be the head coach of the Blue. And he was that for 5 years before he became an assistant with the Thunder and then eventually hired to be the head coach of the Thunder in 2020. And it's just such an unlikely story. He talks about how this team is uncommon. He is also extremely uncommon.
Yeah.
When it comes to an NBA head coach. This stuff right now, like even us like talking about him has got to make him feel uncomfortable. I know he felt uncomfortable on TNT last night. I think being the person that has the spotlight and the recognition makes him uncomfortable. He said this to the media this morning, that it's a little uncomfortable because you just see all the different people whose fingerprints are on the final product, starting with the players, but we have a robust organization.
Yeah.
And like that is like very Mark. Like that is like that's like the most Mark Daigneault statement about this, and it shows just his humility. But like to have back to the leadership, to have the leadership from Clay to Sam to Mark to Shea, that's like the big four of Thunder leadership.
Yeah,
is highly unusual. Highly, highly unusual to have four guys that have this kind of character and like this kind of leadership from the top to the bottom. it allows this team to function the way they do. Like you wonder, like how is this team so selfless? How is this team able to execute the way that they do? It like all starts with the leadership that exists within the organization that just kind of flows to the roster and allows them to play. I don't know if this sounds cheesy or corny or like whatever, but like the truth is that the leadership that has been displayed from Mark has like really allowed this team to play the way that they do. And he's like very much deserving. You know, Hollinger wrote a piece on the Athletic today. You can go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get and read that article. But Hollinger, who has like been a known critic of the Thunder for a long
Mhm.
time, talks about how he's earned it. And it all started back in 2020. This is not something that is just like this year. And so
Yeah. Yeah, because if you look at the full product that we are watching today, you can see great defensive principles. You can see even better offensive principles. Maybe not even better, but very good offensive principles. You can see development through basically the entire roster. You can probably have on your on one hand the development projects that are not giving dividends for OKC right now. Pokuševski, Trey Mann, to some degree.
mhm.
Usman Jang, who is developing, yes, maybe not at the speed that you want him to. Probably that's it. There is nobody else. Yeah, you have the Theo Maledon, the Vit Krejci, sure, Baisley, building block Baisley. Thank you, Zach Lalonde in the chat. Yeah, so there are stories that are not fully successful, but if you look at the whole product, you can see a coach and a staff that can really do everything in
Yeah.
terms of what is needed for a basketball team to be successful. It's not like just X and O's. It's not just, hey, let's develop this crew and we'll see then when we have a good team which coach we need.
Yeah.
So I do really think that he is deserving, and yes, coach of the year is a single person award, but it's also clearly a testament of a staff that is with him every day. I think yesterday I got a question for the OKC Dream team, which I think it was it allowed me to discuss something that I think is true to the entire tree of the Oklahoma City Thunder organization, which is the question was, do you think that Sam Presti is directing something on the bench? Because this listener was saying, hey, I see him gesturing at the bench. Do you think that he's managing some of their rotations? And I mean, I don't know Sam Presti. I don't know Mark Daigneault. But I'm 100% sure that that is not what is happening.
Yeah.
Because
I can emphasize that. I can put
yeah,
like the exclamation point on that. That is
yeah,
not happening. And it's really honestly never happened with this team.
yeah. Because from the owner, as you mentioned before, from Clay Bennett to Sam Presti, there is no micromanaging whatsoever. There was no, hey, let me do part of your job because I mean, yes, you are in charge, but let me do it because I'm clearly better than you in this specific stuff. No, there is, hey, you are the guy, and we will talk about your results and maybe other stuff. I'm sure that Presti and Mark Daigneault are exchanging ideas on how to construct a roster, how to, I would say, improving together at their respective position. But micromanaging during the game, no, or intervening in a draft choice if you want to do the other level, heck no. You will not see something like Stauskas kind of thing. No, you will never see that with the current Nick Rocks, exactly. So you will never see that because I really don't think that A, this is successful managing, and B, the way in which this team has constructed its own identity, which is again all part of a culture, which is now paying the first few dividends of this new tenure.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. It's it's amazing what they've created. Shout out to Mark and to the organization for winning this award. Before we start talking about this team a little bit, I got to tell you guys about a little watch party that's happening in downtown OKC today. Go to Lively Beer Works tonight. The game tips at 7:30. Thunder have a chance to sweep the Pelicans, and you're going to want to be with all of the dunkers. So join us 7:30 tonight. There will be a food truck, there will be drink specials, and lots of dunkers there to watch this game with. It will be a lot of fun. I'll probably shoot a little bit of video that'll go up on our YouTube. So if you want to be in that, you got to be there, be square. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a big projector screen to watch the game. So it's going to be a blast. So be sure to join us tonight, downtown OKC at Lively Beer Works in Oklahoma City. If you're going to be there in the chat, let us know. Would love to see as many dunkers there as possible. So it'll be very, very fun time. So I think the whole Fry Pod crew will be there. So you'll be able to meet the L Man. So wear your dog shirts if you got them. So okay. So the Thunder are up 3-0. It feels like the Pelicans don't really have many answers. I thought it would be kind of good to just even look at individual numbers throughout the series for these guys through 3 games. So through 3 games, Shea is 28 points, 4.7 boards, 5.7 assists, 2.7 turnovers. That's really just kind of like that game 1 that really stuck out.
Yeah.
And 2 steals, shooting 30% from 3, 85% from the line. So he's obviously had a nice series. I tracked this yesterday. I went back and just wanted to see like how many times has Herb Jones actually guarded Shea as his primary defender. He took 20 shots in game 3. It was 3 times. Three times that Herb Jones was the guy. And part of this is the switchy defense that they're implementing is playing right into the hands of the Thunder, where like
that is weird,
and the switchy defense, like both are playing into it. And so like I'm curious tonight, and I wonder what you think too. Is like I think they have one more card to play, and that's just like Herb, your job is to just be on Shea and do not leave him. Like do not switch. We'll switch everything but Shea and Herb. And I just wonder if that's like the final card that they have to play.
Yeah, but this was already clear after game 1, probably also after game 2, and they are not implementing it, especially game 2, game 1. Again, I would. My take on this will be not a good one for you because it will probably interfere with your bet with Alex. But my scheme would be, hey, let's drop Valanciunas on any pick and roll that involves Chet. Let's put him in the middle, like allow Chet to take semi-contested threes, give him a little bit of space, not all the way down. But if Chet is put in pick and roll with Shea, Shea's defender goes down behind the screen and protects the penetration. That's it. Not saying, hey, leave him wide open, but try to go behind the screen and don't switch. Because any other iteration of this team, like the one with Nance at the 5, heavy switching and stuff like that, that doesn't really work because it is advantage Thunder anytime you do it. Just play Jonas 35 minutes, drop him, allow OKC to take a gazillion trees. It's still your best bet. I really don't believe that you can win anyway.
They have zero good bets.
But that's just still the best bet because if you get OKC on a worse shooting night than usual, and I mean, I know that it sounds very stupid to say that after 2 games where they are crazy good from 3, that you try something like that. I'm not saying that you need to leave the other guys. You need to stay home on everyone else. You just have to not switch, absolutely not switch Shea's pick and rolls. Just stay home. And stay home on anybody. Go behind screens. OKC can generate very good threes by passing. There are
Mm-hmm.
very few players. One is probably Shea, the other one is probably J-Dub, who can get crazy off the dribble.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a bet that I would make. Like, let them shoot off the dribble. Let them do that. And then we'll see.
Yeah. I honestly just don't think that either one of those will work. I mean, they have like torched the Jonas minutes, even though like in game one, like they lost the minutes that he was on the court, even
But
though
barely. -2, I think.
yeah, but they barely lost it because like the Thunder didn't have they didn't have an offense in that game.
Sure.
And the Thunder
That is my bet on game 4. Like, if you get OKC again on a night like that, where this is your best bet to win. To play on us, it's a good bet. Would I bet on that? No.
It's a bad bet.
It's a bad bet, but it's a worse bet to play the way they did in game 2 and 3. Like, way worse. Like, to not play, mainly because Valanciunas is still better than everybody on the roster, but probably Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and Brandon Ingram. Maybe CJ. Okay, it's your 5th best player. Najee Marshall is fine if he takes the place of a guy like Herb and or a guy like Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Not if he takes Valanciunas' spot. Larry Nance can be a situational big for 10 minutes.
He just hasn't hardly played big minutes though. Like he just doesn't like he hadn't played big minutes for them no matter who the opponent is. You know? I mean, he can play big minutes against Sacramento and did in that play-in game because he's got Sabonis there.
But do that anyway.
But they don't. They haven't.
I know.
Like you look at his game log from like the rest of the season, and it's. I mean, I'm looking to see how many times he played over 30 minutes. Once against Houston because of Şengün in January. Tick against Memphis in December.
Sure.
Tick against Memphis again in December again.
Yeah, but this is a very specific stat that takes into consideration a player that is not part of the series, which is Zion. With Zion there, I would go full small and put Zion at the center.
Yeah,
that would be my.
Yeah, I mean that's their entire problem is that they just, and we've been saying it. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. Is like they just don't have a creator. Like they don't have a true high level creator, and the Thunder have 3.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, and many people have pointed this out as they are like probably watching the Thunder for the first time, and this is why it's just funny. I feel like I have to keep bringing this up too. Is like when the Thunder were drafting these guys, you have Shea, you draft Giddey, you draft J-Dub, you draft even Jang, who is obviously not worked out, but is like can be an on-ball creator. It's like, why are they drafting so many on-ball creators?
Even Kazan has some on-ball skills.
Yeah, Kazan has some on-ball skills. Jet is going to have on-ball skills that are developing. People are like, why are there's too many guys that can that need the ball, and
there is only one ball.
They don't play that way. They don't. It's not like these guys are playing like James Harden style basketball. They're not. But when you watch like the Sixers, or you watch the Knicks, or you watch any of these other teams, even the Wolves, and even the Nuggets, where it's like without their best player and their best creator out there, boy, it can be really hard to generate points. Mm-hmm. And for the Thunder, you have J-Dub who can go create. Josh Giddey was awesome in game 3. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get it every night from Josh like that, but just to know that like you can have that in your back pocket as like just guys that can create, because when Embiid's off the floor for Philly, they have like nowhere to turn. Like they cannot generate points.
Yeah.
So with the Thunder, like the engine never stops. This is part of like why Mark deserves Coach of the Year, is because the engine of the Thunder's offense just never stops. It keeps cooking no matter who's in there, And it's great because you have J-Dub who can do like an amazing Shea impression at times, with the ball in his hands.
With a little bit more inclination to get to his three ball, which
Yeah.
I love. This
Yeah.
is something where Jacob can improve, and he doesn't need to go from 4 or 5 to whatever 9 and 10. But he was taking some spicy threes in game 3.
Oh yeah.
like he and Shea. The thing that I love the most about Shea as a leader is the fact that he's when he feels that it's not really his time, he can really create good advantage for others. Because I do remember game 6 or game 7, Clippers at home against the Utah Jazz. That series was after the Clippers won against the Spurs with Chris Paul having a hamstring injury. It was a glorious series. We were all there to say, okay, the Clippers are finally there. And then in game 7, the Jazz played an amazing comeback series. They were controlling the court, and Chris Paul was not having it. And he just hid on a corner for an entire game. This will never happen with Shea.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, lazy pass and then move and do your thing. Jamal Crawford, do your thing, Blake Griffin. No, it's, hey, let me do the best I can to create an advantage for you. And the three that started basically the third quarter collapse of the Pels was Shea getting 2 defenders and giving a J-Dub a perfect in the pocket pass, top of the key to have an open 3. That's awesome. That's allowing others to just grow and to blossom. Even Giddy. I mean, you could feel it in that game 3. Everybody was so happy. So happy to be in that moment. And this is also credit to Shea that is a great leader and allows this.
You want to see a couple spicy threes?
Oh yeah,
so
especially one.
Yeah. Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you do.
I can't even tell which one I'm going to play first, but there are a couple. There's like a really deep one, and then there's like this step back, like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
All right.
A little spin right here. Wiggins. Out it goes. Williams 3. Got it. What a stroke. Jalen Williams.
I mean, that's the one where you're just let's just see it one more time just to bring some more joy to the chat here.
A little spin right here. Wiggins. Out it goes. Williams 3. Got it. What a stroke. Jalen Williams.
Woo!
And he just like can't help but just like grin after that. He's just what a ridiculous shot. I mean, that is a superstar shot. That's a superstar level shot that you feel the confidence to do that. Just outstanding. And then this one.
Not that he had many other options. Like he had like 2.5 seconds and he had to
pull that off.
Yeah, no, I mean that was the only option, and he took it and made it look awesome.
It's ridiculous. All right, here's the deep 3 from J-Dub.
Jalen Williams. Here's his stroke from 3. Good. Wow.
You just don't know where it's coming from.
It's just so pure. His shot is so pure. It just looks so good, and it feels effortless because a lot of it is like his strength, his upper body strength. He increased over the summer, where just like you can shoot it that deep, and it just feels effortless. And I still think, I think there's like a couple ways where I think J-Dub's going to get better. Like I think he's going to start getting to the free throw line more. I think that's something that he'll figure out as he goes. But I also think just the volume of threes increasing for him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like a 25-ish points, per game guy. I think it's going to come from getting more free throws and just shooting the 3 ball because he's just been so efficient as a 3-point shooter that I just think like he has to keep doing. I mean, he's 41% in the series, over 40% for the season. It's just where he is. And I mean, his line 27-5 with 1.7 steals. 27-5. This is year 2.
Yeah.
This is year 2 for him, and he's 27-5 in his first 3 playoff games. I mean, that's unbelievable. He's been absolutely ridiculous. Chet, who we talked about on Saturday, obviously didn't have like the craziest statistical game outside of the blocks. The blocks are crazy, but I mean, he's for the series 15, 8, and 1 with 3.7 blocks per game, shooting 48, 37, 70. I mean, he's been really good. Giddey has been good too. 12, 5, and 4, even with a dud game from game 1.
Yeah.
You know, he's
On good percentage, I guess.
46% from the field, 41% from 3, 83% from the line.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
He missed a lot of bunnies in game 1.
Yeah.
Could have had like a great line. You know, I mean, these 4 guys plus Lou Dort.
Plus Dort. Who's like
Can't say
Dort's-
my guy, but feel like my guy. I can't, I know. I will never. But anyway, he was sensational.
Yeah.
Just the best.
Yeah. I need to credit them on Twitter because they pointed this out, and I thought this was really funny. That Dort, where is it? Dort has made all of his threes, or he's missed all of his twos, and has been like ridiculous from 3 in this series. And he's like, is he the anti Andre Robertson? It's like it's a really.
I would
weird
trade 3 for 2. So
At Kyle_E_Clark. Lou Dort shooting 55.6% from 3 and 0% from 2 in this series against the Pelicans. Is it safe to say that he's the reverse Andre Robertson? Absolutely, Kyle. Yeah, that was a good call. That was really funny. And obviously the defense has just been ridiculous. I mean, the Thunder have a 94.7 defensive rating in this series.
yeah.
Is the best in the playoffs. And I want to make sure that like Thunder fans don't get like too cocky with this one, because this is clearly the worst offense in the playoffs. I mean,
there is a lot of variance and noise.
This is obviously the worst offense. They do not. I mean, you look at every other team that's in the playoffs. Cavs. These are like the worst offenses so far in the playoffs. It's hold on, let me pull it up. So the Pelicans have the worst one, obviously. If the Thunder have the best defense, and the Pelicans have to have the worst offense. But Cavs, Heat, Magic, they all have creators. And the Cavs have 2 guys that can create on ball. The Heat have, I know that Tyler Hero's not some great shakes, but he's better than anybody right now that's playing for the Pelicans. I can tell you that. Orlando has Franz Wagner had a ridiculous game. Paolo is a creator.
But anyhow,
offense is the Lakers. I mean, I'm just telling you, like this is why you fight to get the 1 seed, and why you don't take your foot off the gas there at the end of the season, in that you could possibly get the worst team in the playoffs. And I truly believe that this New Orleans Pelicans team is probably the worst team in the playoffs.
Hey, Phoenix says hello. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I get it. They laid down and died yesterday. They were murdered by Ant Edwards last night with that dunk. I mean, what a pathetic. I mean, we talk about like the leadership and like everything top down, and like the big 4 and the leadership of the Thunder. You look at the Suns, like Ishbia. The fact that everybody knows his name is bad, is really bad. You should not know the name of the owner that well. He should not be known nationwide like he is. It means that he's doing too much.
Yeah.
And then like James Jones, I mean, I tweeted out that article written by Kevin Arnovitz that basically that he almost renounces the draft as a viable strategy for them, and kind of like dogs on
cool right now.
Yeah, I mean it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it is bad. And one sentence about the Pels. yes, they are terrible offense in terms of creation. They also had so bad shooting luck. So, I mean, that defensive rating is way too low, and I don't expect that to be the case. That said, OKC played some marvelous, awesome defense.
Their defense has
So-
been good. I don't want to like. It's hard because there's a balance that exists with like the Thunder's defense has been phenomenal, and I think you can make the case that they have been the best defense. I just
Yeah.
don't know that the defensive rating is the best way to make that argument because
Yeah.
of how bad the Pelicans have played. So I
Exactly.
think it's a combination of like the two, where it's like, yes, the Pelicans have been awful, but the Thunder have been awesome, like very,
Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah. And again, I would say the same if the defensive rating would be 102 or 103. That is still for the type of offense that OKC run, the number of possessions, the pace of the game, which I know that the number of possession is irrelevant, but the way in which the game is played, like a lot of threes and stuff like that, you can expect to have a slightly higher than 100 defensive rating and still say that OKC played incredibly good defense. So I'm just saying maybe 94 is not the number, or 92, whatever it is. So I don't expect that to be the case next series because it will pose different threats. In terms of speaking of the Suns, I mean, I had a friend, an Italian friend, text me, how many times did you think to help KD out of that mess? And in my mind, it immediately went the number 0, none. I don't particularly care. I mean, this is like its own doing, basically. So I don't. And again, this thing is so pure and perfect, which I don't want really to be the one who suggests to touch it. If someone else does it, great. I'm not the one to say, hey, what if? No. Just no.
Yeah. No, Kevin can pay for his own mistakes here. And if Kevin wants to knock on the Thunder's door, we can tell him taxpayer mid-level, whenever your contract's up.
Would you do that?
Would I do it? It just depends on how far along the Thunder are. It depends on like what this looks like. If they've like won a title already, say, no way, Jose. There's no way.
I would actually do it if they won a title. Because
If
they did
they
it.
won the title?
Yeah, they did it without him. And now you can be the guy who participate in us winning another one. Like, do you want to win here?
Listen,
You can do it with us now. You weren't able to do it when you were here the first time. We did it first. Then you can.
I personally, maybe this is a little vindictive, but I just want Kevin to watch the parades from home.
Yeah, the first parade, yes.
I want Kevin to watch every parade from home. If there are multiple parades, Kevin, watch them from home, brother. Like you chose
that
this.
can be in the contract. Like,
This
you
was your
can play
choice.
with us, but you need to watch parade.
No, dude. I don't.
Can you
No,
imagine that?
Nope.
contract?
I would just totally prefer to do it without him. It would tie a really nice bow on top of his career, but the Thunder don't need him. The Thunder don't need him. I just don't think they need him. And I'm glad that he's discovering, a lot about himself in this journey. But like, he made the choice. That's just how I feel. There's a lot of noise. I'll just say there's a lot of noise for sure. There's a lot
About what?
about Kevin. I mean, you think Kevin Durant is looking around right now and saying like, I'm so glad I'm here in Phoenix. This is great. What a great situation this is. Of course, Kevin wants to find a different basketball situation. Now, I'm not saying that like this is something that's going to happen this summer. Or we talked about OKC this summer. I don't think that's going to be the case. But my guess is like they will look for different situations for him this summer. Because like, what do you do? Like, what else do you do? Like, how do you change things? I mean, maybe you just run it back. I don't know. But
I would love to see him with Trae Young in Atlanta, just to see another miserable situation. That could be a team where I could say, "Hey, let's give this spin. Can we win with Jalen Johnson? No, let's remove him. And there maybe maybe DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte and whatever.
And maybe 1-2 picks.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting.
That's sad.
That is really sad.
So sad.
Gosh, that would be so depressing.
Or he can go to New York for Randall and whatever. The Knicks can do it. I'm not sure they want to do it, but they can do it.
Yeah, they could do it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's Kevin.
Why are we talking about Kevin? It's my
You brought it up. You brought it up.
I know. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Let's talk about nice things.
Yeah, let's talk about the Thunder. So the Thunder play tonight in New Orleans in what could be a closeout game. Closeout games are not typically easy. I expect the Pelicans to show some pride here. Like they have talented players, but I just think it would be it'd be very telling if the Thunder like slammed the door shut early and ended this series tonight. It'd be very, very telling. I would probably change the way that I think about them as far as like their age if they're able to close this out, because mentally closing out a series is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something. I mean, look at the Boston Celtics. Look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who have like still not really figured it out mentally yet. They are clearly worlds better than the Miami Heat. If you were to stack up their talent versus Miami's talent, the Celtics reaches the moon, and the Heat doesn't hardly reach the top of this tree I'm looking at out my window. But it's just like mentally they don't get it. Like they just haven't been able to get it. And if the Thunder can like can put it together and mentally get over this hump that is like not easy for everybody to do, I might start to like really change the way I think about them, because sweeping a team in the first round, like that shows like you know how to win basketball games. Now,
this is why I'm so impressed by the Wolves. That was not an easy fit.
Yeah, well, if I'm the Nuggets, I'm shaking in my boots a little bit.
Yeah,
because that Timberwolves team, they are built to compete with the Nuggets. The GM that put together the Nuggets put together the Timberwolves to beat the Nuggets, by the way. And I am so intrigued. I would be mortified of Anthony Edwards, he is that guy. He is ready for that moment. If you're a Thunder fan, like there are going to be battles that happen throughout this next decade between Ant and Shea, and between this Wolves team and the Thunder. Now the Wolves have put themselves in a crippling financial situation that is going to change the way that their roster is constructed very, very soon. Very, very soon. Like they really have no option.
But not if they do, like if they really compete with the Nuggets, then maybe you can say, okay, this is working. Let's give this core another year.
If you had a stable ownership group, sure.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. Anyways, I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do tonight. Will I be mad if they lose? No, because then I get to see the Thunder play another home game here in Oklahoma City on Wednesday, which I would not be mad about. I have had an absolute blast watching them at home in the playoffs. It has been so much fun. It's been fun interacting with people outside the arena before games, doing videos and stuff. Like I would love to have just another game to do that. So I do not count me as someone that would be mad if they lose this game tonight, but I actually kind of expect them to win. I kind of expect them to just keep their foot on the gas. And for this to happen. Now, there are circumstances that could lead to them losing the game. They could go cold from three. The Pelicans could finally wake up and hit some threes.
Yeah.
They as a team have been bad. Super bad. You look across the board, like CJ McCollum, 37% from the field.
Nice.
41% from the field. Herb Jones, 40% from the field. Trey Murphy, 39% from the field. Najee Marshall, 30% from the field.
Poor Murph. Murdered by Chet.
I mean, Jose Alvarado, I'm just going to let you guess what he is from the field.
19.5%.
Worse.
Wow, I thought I was quite low. 16?
Worse.
No, come on. 12.
12.5%.
Wow.
On the field, Michele.
12 and a half. What is like 1 out of, I don't know,
Let me figure out the totals here. Jose Alvarado is 2 of 16
2
for
of
the
16.
series
Nice.
games. Really, really bad. Really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
So they're listen. There's only I guess maybe they could be worse, but I just don't see them being all that. I don't see them being worse than this. I mean, Alvarado's hit 1-3. He's 1 of 11 3. There could be a world where these guys wake up and they hit a bunch of threes and they make it a game, and you just don't know what can happen down the stretch of a game.
Yeah, I think that they are cooked in terms of hopes.
Yeah.
But when you are in that spot, you may play with hey, let's have fun. Let's go out there. The series is over.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that. Let's try to make it fun. Let's try to do this and then go.
Mhm.
And so I think that playing with light mind can lead to very good shooting. That is actually something that may happen.
Yeah.
That said, I still think that OKC can score 140 on them, especially if they play loose. Because if you don't defend, yeah, OKC can be bad offensively, but they can still do damage. So yes, there might be a game where Palace shoots 65% like the Clippers last night, and in
Mhm.
that case, you probably lose.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean too much. I just want to see them giving a punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately.
It would honestly maybe even be good for the Thunder to get punched one more time before you go to the second round. You know, I think like just having a little bit more experience before you play teams. If you played the Clippers or Dallas, like you're playing against a team that whoever it is that has a creator that is just so much better than anybody on the Pelicans. And so it's going to be a much, much different story in round 2. And I think everybody knows that. Like anybody listening to this show knows that it's going to be different, that the Thunder will, it's not a given that they would even get through a round 2 series, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them to just have a little bit more experience with somebody getting after them. So, let's see. Anything else that you want to discuss before we go? We will have a post-game show tonight live at Lively Beer Works after the game. So be sure to join us. Come watch the game with us. I'll probably be there around 7 before the game starts. So if you guys want to get a good spot, you want to get there early, because I think we're gonna pack the house at Lively tonight. It's gonna be a blast. Wear your dog shirts. Come barking. This is gonna be a good time. So anything else, Michele, before we go?
No, let's have fun tonight. Well, you tonight. I'll be watch first thing in the morning, but
Yeah.
I'll treadmill my way to the game tomorrow morning.
There you go. Yeah, cannot wait. Be sure to join us at Lively tonight in downtown OKC. It's going to be great. Game tips at 7:30. Try to get there a little earlier so that you have a spot to sit and to hang out. There will be food trucks. There will be drink specials. It is all ages, so if you want to bring your kids or whatever, you're welcome to bring kids. You're welcome to bring anybody of any age. Dan Sales in the chat. Will Hayward be playing even though he's a ghost on offense? Wiggins deserves those minutes.
Hey, we're saving him for when it matters.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is my guess is that we will see more of Hayward tonight. I just don't think they're going to deviate. I think they like what they've seen from him defensively. I think that
and rebounding wise.
I was going to say, and he brings just a little bit more size. And trust me, like we all know that Wiggins has been a better player than Hayward, but I think that little bit of size is something that they want to see. And Wiggins has played. I mean, let's see. What are the totals here in minutes? I mean, Wiggs has played 43 minutes and Hayward's played 27. Wiggs has played more than him. To me, I wonder a little bit why no Kenrich and Hayward, because Kenrich does have a little bit of size and strength. But again, they're up 3-0. I'm not going to go to war against the Thunder coaching staff over this little bitty thing. Like, it's a small deal. And you may just want to keep Hayward engaged. I know he hasn't shot the ball. Like, let's see. He has not even taken a 3 in his minutes, which is just mind blowing to me because I'm telling you,
jumper.
I know.
2-point range.
Shoot the ball. It's like, dude, just shoot threes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be Kyle Korver. You don't have to be, some lights out, shooter that just is firing away all the time. But just like take some threes. Like get because he can shoot. Like in his, I truly believe that he's one of the better shooters on the team, and in a team full of shooters. And so it's just kind of strange to me that he's not been able to do that. But we'll see. I would guess that we'll continue to see him. The Thunder coaching staff sees something in him that they want to keep engaged. Because there just may be a time where you need him. And also the thing about this is the Thunder, they've not really been in a tight spot yet in the playoffs. And that's coming. That is on its way. Whether it is in this series and things get tight in this series for some weird reason, which I don't think will happen, or you get to round 2 and it's 2-2 heading back to Oklahoma City for a pivotal game 5. And like they may see something that we don't, where it's like, we got to keep Gordon Hayward engaged, where we may need him in a series like that. I don't know. I'm not saying like that is for sure the answer. I'm just talking off the top of my dome right now. I don't know, but I'm just telling you that they see something where they believe that Hayward needs to stay engaged with them. And, we will see where that leads, but I don't have a lot of answers there, but I would assume that we'll see more of Gordo.
Yeah. And again, it's not that his minutes have been bad. So that's in terms of team results.
Yeah.
Opponents are not leaving him wide open. That is enough.
Yeah.
Maybe not enough, but it's a good thing. And he gives, it's not I don't think that it's a coincidence that rebounding stuff is not bad when he's out there, because he really helps. And if he's okay on defense, people are not sagging off of him, and he's rebounding the ball. Yeah, sure, you may want a little bit more flow offensively, but OKC doesn't really need that. Not always. Not with Shea and maybe 2 shooters out there. The lineups with Shea need to space the floor for him. And if you put Kenrich guy and J. Will guy will sag off and clog the paint. They will do that. No matter if Kenrich is having a good season from 3, that is still a thing. With Gordon, it's a bit different. Teams are still not really okay in allowing him a wide open look, because if he's wide open, he's going to take it. So it's middle of the pack, maybe not fully committing like Isaiah Joe, but still committing more than Kenrich. And when Kenrich gets it, it's not attacking off the dribble. Gordon can attack and make a pass. Now, it's not doing that, so it's all theoretical, but the defenses are still responding like that. And plus, Gordon is helping a little bit more than Kenrich in the rebounding battle, and more than Wiggins for sure. So, yes, it's disappointing offensively, but it's still conducive to good enough minutes where you're not saying, oh, come on, we're getting killed with him on the court, which I don't think it's something that we almost ever said for the entire season. So,
Stephen A. Smith, you were talking about KD to New York. Stephen A. Smith is saying that Devin Booker wants to join the Knicks.
Fantastic. That's good.
Oh man, that is funny. Shout out to Stephen A. for just letting the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the Thunder. 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 Let's move It's really funny. Okay, we will have another show for you tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. We got tons of people listening in on the chat on YouTube right now. If you will just hit the like button right now, that would be so nice. And if you'll just leave a comment, any kind of comment below, get a conversation started, not just in the chat, but like on the YouTube video, if you leave a comment. So like it, leave a comment, and then join us at Lively Beer Works tonight in downtown Oklahoma City. And we will talk to you guys again tonight.